Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode, or another webisode, or whatever the heck they're called, but welcome to another run and another episode of the Extra Scoop, a news sports broadcast based on esports or random news throughout the world that might have some affiliation with video games. Or, for example, for instance, we could also talk about completely random things, like how ice cream is a lot colder than people think, but it's actually just a figment of your imagination. That is a lie. It's all fake news. But anyway, we're here to talk about a very set of specific things. We're not going to be talking a lot about Dota. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm not talking about Dota at all. We did have the tug of war that were completed today for We Play once more. We Play cracking out a lot of events recently, and they're doing really good on that market, so... That being said, though, we do have other topics that we're going to talk about today, so no big Dota stuff to talk about. Our first topic of discussion is the Division Beta. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't already heard, the Division Beta is out and going. And for those of you who played Division 1, it might be a little bit lackluster, because Division 1 was very lackluster for that period of time that people were playing it. Division usually has a fall-off rate of about a month and a half of usually has a fall-off rate of about a month and a half worth of gameplay time. After a month and a half or so, a lot of players end up dropping it and going to something else. It's another game that's very Destiny-esque, but has a more drop-off rate than a lot of Destiny players or other MMOs. But the Division 2, though, looked at not as a MMO, but still has all the collecting basic stuff that is much like an MMO. No, like big crafting things, but from what I understand, you're defending from the view of the commercials, something's going on at the White House, and you're the last stand as the Division agents. So, another good old classic defend them and run kind of thing. But, I wasn't really that big of a fan of Division 1, so hopefully Division 2 will come around and grab people's attention a little bit better. But it is still a Tom Clancy game, and most Tom Clancy games are pretty friggin' good. With that being said, we'll do our next topic. We're going back to Anthem yet again. We have the roadmap that we're going to talk about a little bit more in detail today as I bring it up to the main screen. You won't be able to see what I'm looking at, but we are going to see things that will change throughout the weeks and throughout the months. The easiest one that a lot of people are going to talk about is the quality of improvements. The way that the game will be physically improved due to the factor that it had a really rough start out. The other thing following that will still be the Weekly Alliance coin. It's actually going to be buffed quite a bit, and the daily weekly challenges, as well as the monthly ones, will be buffed as well. The Prospero, the store has been refreshed, but no one really cares about too much of that. Legendary missions, which will be the newest thing that was added recently, is something that each person has their own sort of thing for that. You can get daily missions from each person now, and by each person, we mean anyone you complete their contract-based storyline for, you can get legendary missions for. It's not assured you get one every single day, but there's ones that gradually occur throughout the period of time. New items and the Elysian Stronghold caches were released as well. And then we have some extra free play events, a lot of stuff like that that's going to be released in March, which we have just started. In April, we're going to see the Mastery system, which will increase your overall expansion radius. So in the sense, it's like how Destiny has light levels, Anthem will be getting most likely something that's very much like that. More items will also be added during that, and then a bunch more free play events. In fact, a lot more free play events and Legendary Missions Part 2, as well as a new Stronghold, new weekly challenges, and guilds. Guilds is going to be the big thing that will change Anthem and hopefully grab a lot of people's attention towards the game, as a guild is something that usually holds people in for a long period of time. Destiny ended up playing that same card when they introduced guilds in Destiny 1, and carried over to Destiny 2, it worked out really well and held its ground for a lot of people who wanted to continue to play Anthem Destiny. This will be another thing that might be able to bring people together in Anthem once more. Or it could just be the absolute destruction turning around from that. But following that, we will have the Cataclysm, which will occur in May of 2019. It is a big free play event that involves something that sounds very obvious with the word Cataclysm. It might be a DLC, it might not be, but following that, we will have more stuff released after that with the Anthem Roadmap. Now, with that being said, a lot of people still are giving Anthem a lot of flack for their money. Now, I can understand it completely. Anthem had a very rough start, but we all have to remember that Anthem is not the worst out of the Fallout starting groups. And the reason why I said Fallout starting groups is because Fallout statistically has the worst approval rating upon games in their first release period of time. So, but thank God that we're talking about that, because we are going to go next to the Fallout roadmap as we will describe it more in detail. So, as I talked about it in the previous extra scoop, we talked about the increases and change to the Fallout 76 roadmap and how Fallout 76 will have a lot more content in the next couple months. So, much like Anthem, they're going to be releasing very specific things. We can see it here on this very nice image. They're going to have Wild Appalachia be released within this and next month. Following that will also be the Nuclear Winter and then the Wastelands, which will be released shortly afterwards. Now, a lot of these ones are very different in what people were expecting, but if we take a quick look at all the titles and so on and so forth, we'll get a more thorough explanation out for you. So, they'll have new quests, the new mode, which is survival mode, and new features will occur in Wild Appalachia, which will happen in spring of 2019. Summer of 2019 will bring the new mode called Nuclear Winter, the high-level vault raids, which is basically they will be adding raids, and new features will be added to the game. The Wastelanders will also include the new main quest line, new events, and more new features. Now, this is something a lot of people are probably going to underestimate about the changes that will eventually come, but luckily we have a second part of the roadmap which gives us quite a bit more detail in what exactly may or may not be happening. So on March 12th, we will have Welcome to Wild Appalachia, which will be a mythical beast, a lost generation of scouts, and the strongest brew on this side of the wasteland. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be able to brew your own beer. Now, that being said, brewing is not really that crazy. A lot of people don't actually do it, but a lot of people understand that there's actually a lot you can do with beer. Now, for me, who does not do alcohol inside Appalachia as well as, in normal life, I'm not really concerned about this. But we are going to have an event that will come out in March 19th called the Fanset Parade, which likes its join the festivities and complete this new limited time event to earn unique rewards. Most likely these will be specific costumes, skins for certain robot based things, or so on and so forth for your very nice suit of power armor. In March 26th, they will bring the new survival mode, which is basically true PvP, as everyone is calling it. The way that they want to word out this true PvP is basically, if you've ever played Rust, it is Rust now. That's basically what it is. April 9th and April 16th will have player vending. Well, April 9th is player vending, and April 16th is the camera. So vending machines in your camp, you can make it to where you can actually sell stuff. That way, people can buy stuff from you. Following that, also on April 9th, will be the Sheer Terror. It looks like it is Endeavor the Encrypted Secrets of Appalachia in a new series of quests and encounter separate monsters from myths, basically. Following that will be May 7th, the Ever Upwards update, journey into the deepest reaches of the woods with the new stories for the legendary Pioneer Scouts and a customizable backpack system for increased utility. That being said, it will most likely increase your backpack limit so long as you have said backpack equipped. Most likely this will also take a chest piece item away from your just very standard setup that you usually like to go for. And following that, May 23rd will be a mysterious legendary vendor. Locate the mysterious purveyor to exchange and scrap your unwanted legendary items for newer legendary gear. So much like a retrade system. This will be over for the next 100 days or so, as of about a week and a half ago, but I feel like this needs to be hit on quite a bit. People always are going to look at games upon their first release and say, this is how I judge a game. Now, if you wanted to stick with that sort of judgment, we can all go look at No Man's Sky and see how after its second huge update, it did manage to get a wild change in its overall play maps. So, Just always think about that. There's always a chance for a company to come back from something as devastating as the loss that they have there. But with that being said, let's just jump off of Fallout, because we do have something that is somewhat compared to it. Red Dead Redemption Online. I don't think it's actually Red Dead 2. I'm pretty sure it's like Red Dead like 8 or something. I don't know what number it is, but from what I understand, we are having a lot of talk about it on Reddit, that Red Dead Redemption Online is being compared to Fallout 76. Now, this could be said a lot of things. Fallout 76 is purely online, while Red Dead Redemption still has a campaign. So, there's a big difference between the two games, and the fact that people are comparing Red Dead Online to the likes of Fallout 76 means that they might not have actually played the campaign and understood how long it really takes to make a game like that. So, with all the Reddit threads and all the Reddit slams going down on this Red Dead Online, I imagine people are going to flip it around and understand that, it's not Rockstar's #1 title. Everybody loves Grand Theft Auto, but, Rockstar really likes having the Red Dead title still. So let's not go ahead and annex this Red Dead Online completely, because, it's not the end of the world, guys. So we have one last little topic to talk about. Now, this is something that is not entirely internet or just sports related, anything like that. We have something that, even though I tried to make it work, I guess for some reason I didn't want to do it. The Monster stock, by the way. So for any of you who might have been paying attention over the last couple weeks here, but not really couple weeks, couple days, actually. Any of you that might have been keeping track over the next couple days, there has been a significantly high increase in Monster's stock. Between now and the last 3 days, actually, we see a significant rise in stock for the Monster's basic stock line here. In fact, it went extremely up during the 28th of February. Now, if you're wondering why this may be, it's actually because Monster has announced that they are releasing a new drink. Now, most of the time when something like that happens, the stock doesn't rise until the product itself comes out. But since Monster has always had such a huge success over the years, well, actually, this is over the 1 month, since they've had pretty good success over the time, excluding back on the start of 2019. Wait, we're in 2019. What's going on here? Why? Oh, it's the year of. So the start of this year, they were pretty low in the pool here, but over time they did manage to work it up. And with that being said, their new drink that they released, 228, that's when they made the announcement, has increased their stock prices by a large percentage, although it's not, as big as it seems. As we see, it's still from the 58 point to the 64 point. So, not the worst situation to happen here, but for those of you who have stock, and for those of you who may have bought it when it was at 48, right now is a very beautiful time for you to consider either holding on to it further, or to just let it go. But, everyone is very excited to see what this new Monster drink will be, and whether or not it's worth the stock upgrade that they managed to get. But with that being said, we have no more topics to talk about, and I'm sure you can hear the fact that I keep on capping out on my audio. I don't know. Sometimes it echoes, and sometimes it doesn't. But with that being said, we only have, there's no more topics left. But if you want to see anything that's not news related, or just, some extra fun stuff, make sure to swing on by the Twitch that is listed here, right there, right? Hang on, I'll get this right. Right there. Or, hang on, that's not going to work that way. Right there. Right there. Cool. If you want to go to that Twitch right there, they'll have a lot more games going on soon here. I will be streaming tomorrow, but not for today. We are all done for today. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you really enjoyed this extra scoop. If you want anything in specific talked about, make sure you let me know, either on Twitter or on YouTube in the comments below. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed. This is Party PD signing off with the Extra Scoop. Hey guys, I hope you like this new special outro for our brand new series, the Extra Scoop. Expect to see more videos like this in the future, because I like doing newscast stuff, and that felt very newscast-like. I like the news. Although I like making fake news. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and swing by the Twitch whenever you feel like it. It's Party PD, signing off.